Everyone, this is Tim Brown. Welcome back to my Apple Podcast. I have a real bad habit of doing these really impromptu sessions, but no one's really talking about mounts too much. Why? Because it seems too obvious. Mounts are pretty straightforward. You got to have a mount if you're going to use an accessory, right? But it helps to know a little bit more about mounts and how they work so that you can get the best out of your tools and what you have at your disposal. For example, when you're filming, whether it's with your phone or you're doing work on your computer or what have you, and using accessories or third-party devices and so forth, you are inevitably going to use mounts. And there are three different types of mounts. There are mounts that come as quarter-inch mounts, and the quarter-inch mounts are the typical screws that you find on a tripod. And just about anything that you get, most likely is going to fit a quarter-inch mount. Even when you get these little wiry things that you use for tripods, I actually love these things. They're really practical. Quarter-inch mount. That means that you can screw just about anything into this. For example, here's a Yalanzi mount that I purchased for a phone because it also has a shoe mount on top. Well, guess what? It comes with a standard quarter-inch mount. So I can screw this right into this little, cheap little affordable little tripod. And I can be very creative with how I use it. Why? Because it's a quarter-inch mount. There's so many things that come as quarter-inch mounts. Even if you take this webcam, this is a Logitech Brio webcam. It comes with a little clamp that snaps into place here and you put it on top of your computer. I rarely use that because when you take the clamp out, it's actually a screw. And guess what size it is? A quarter-inch mount. So I can screw this, hey, let's get old wiry guy out, and I can screw this right into wiry guy and plug this into my computer, and I can film myself just like this using the webcam. Why? Because I'm fully aware that this is a quarter-inch screw that goes into a quarter-inch mount. Pretty universal. Even if you think about, say, the Raspberry microphone, for example, the Raspberry is one of those mics that you can use with your iOS device as well as your Mac. And it comes with this really cute little stand, and of course, it's a quarter-inch screw. And you screw it right into the quarter-inch screw, and it becomes a nice little stand. Of course, you can screw it off and use it other ways. For example, Raspberry also comes with a different mount that's beyond quarter-inch. It's actually a female 5/8 inch mount. So you can use this 5/8 inch mount to screw it into or attach it to something else, say like this boom mic that I have. This small boom mic, which is the heel small boom, has a 5/8 inch male. So I can screw this female that comes with the Raspberry into the small boom, and then I can take my small boom and then screw it into the quarter-inch. So it's really nice having this flexibility. Now, not all devices come with quarter-inch mounts, however. There are some that actually come with, say, 3/8 inch mounts. It's rare, but sometimes you'll encounter that. I actually encountered that with my iRig Mic Studio mic, which I primarily use with the stand that it comes with. So, for example, here's my iRig Mic Studio mic. Again, this is one of those mics that you can use with your iOS device as well as your Mac. And it comes with this tripod stand. This is a 3/8 inch screw, though, not a quarter-inch screw. So it fits perfectly with the mic that it came with. Perfect. And this is typically how I use the iRig mic. But what if I want to use the iRig mic for something else? Well, guess what? I can't because I don't really have anything that has a 3/8 inch mount. It's very rare to find anything like that. Quarter-inch mounts, sure, they're everywhere. But can you find a 3/8 inch mount? Not too often. But you know what? That's not too difficult either because they have this thing called adapters. You can just buy little screws to satisfy your needs. So for example, I have a little, just like the one that came with the Raspberry, which is basically a 5/8 female with a quarter-inch male. You can also get a 5/8 inch female with a 3/8 inch male. So doing this the same way I did with the Raspberry, I screw that into the 5/8 inch mount on this small boom here. And then I can also then take my iRig mount, which is a 3/8 inch mount, and I can now screw it into this adapter. This adapter literally cost me $3. So it's not like you're not able to accomplish what you need to accomplish with the devices that you're using. It's just a matter of just getting the right mounts. They only come in some standard sizes that you should also be familiar with. You have the quarter-inch, what I just mentioned. I just showed you the 3/8. The other is the 5/8. Quarter, 3/8, 5/8. As long as you know those three sizes, you can pretty much make all this stuff work. Really. There's also this really cool Yalanzi rig that I use for my iPhone all the time. I typically use it on a tripod, but what's really nice, it comes with all of these really nice options. It comes with these shoe mounts where you can add these LED lights that Ulanzi also makes. And they just sort of just screw right in here. What's really nice too is I have this little Rode micro mic as well. That has a little shoe mount. It screws right into the rig as well. The one thing I don't see very often though with the rig is the fact that this rig also comes with 1/4-inch screws. They're females, but they're 1/4-inch mounts on 2 on the top and 1 on the side. And you can take these screws. So actually, rather than buying another product that has males already attached to it, you just spend about a couple dollars and you get yourself some screw mounts. In this case, I have 2 1/4-inch males. And I just screw the 1/4-inch males into the females, which are 3 of them. And now I have the option to add other things on top, so like this microphone, for example. So there is a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can do with your products. Just keeping in mind that you have 3 different types of mounts. You have 1/4-inch, 3/8, and 5/8. There may be more, but when you're working with average things like this, that pretty much is the case. And one last thing I want to show you, just so you can understand just how flexible things can be when you take into consideration the different size mounts that are available. Here, for example, is the Yeti mic. I use this primarily with my Mac. It's too powerful to actually use with an iOS device. When you take it off its stand, it has a female 5/8" mount. So I took that in consideration when I bought the small boom because I knew that one, I could use the adapter that came with the Raspberry. So this is the 5/8 female to a 1/4-inch male. But also I have a 5/8 female which can go directly into the small boom mount. So if I wanted to use the Yeti, I can also screw that right into the small boom as well. Understanding mounts is really probably the most important thing to keep in mind when you are using devices and accessories and things like that. It's not so much the product, like this beautiful rig made by Ulanzi. Yeah, it's a nice product, but the main thing is understanding what you can do with mounts. And once you understand that, the sky's the limit. So that is my sort of impromptu session. I just had to do this because I think that understanding mounts is really important. My name is Tim Brown. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Check me out next time.